It's your boy Big Baby. Support sporting icons for latest boxing news. Cheeseburger.
Former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and of course boxing legend in Iron Mike Tyson has said that a fight between Joshua and Wilder he can only see going one way, and this is what Mike Tyson had to say. Joshua looked like he was going to be the guy to become undisputed champion, but in his last fight he didn't impress me against Parker. But with Wilder, I don't give him much of a chance. I saw Joshua fighting a short guy, Carlos Takam, and he didn't do that well with him, and they stopped the fight real early. But with tall guys like Deontay Wilder, I think he'll do real well with them, just like he did with Klitschko. I'm Mike Tyson's statement. So there you have it. Mike Tyson said the exact same thing that I've been saying for a long time, as you guys know, that when Joshua fights taller guys, he finds them much easier to hit. He doesn't like a hitting down. He doesn't like the guys who come in on his chest. The tall guys like Dominic Brazil couldn't do that, so he was there to be hit. Charles Martin, as you've seen, and with Vladimir Klitschko. Of course, he was in trouble with Vladimir Klitschko as well because his skill set was extremely high. As we know, Deontay Wilder's skill set is virtually non-existent. So he would find Deontay Wilder much easier than what he would against Vladimir Klitschko, and certainly against Takam and Parker, no doubt, because as I said, the shorter guys like to get in on his chest, and while he does like these kind of fights, he does like to have like a bit of a scrap, he doesn't look that good against them. Now don't get me wrong, against Takam he dominated him, right? Against Joseph Parker, again, same thing. But, you know, with taller guys, as I said, they're more upright, they don't crouch down as much, they don't move as well. Now, Wilder does move pretty well, he's pretty nippy on his feet, but he always gets hit. His defense is terrible, and whenever he gets hit, he gets hurt straight away. As you've seen that with Luis Ortiz, when he needed the referee and the medical team to save him, to buy him some extra time. Now, don't get me wrong, ultimately he got the job done. But Wilder is an easier fight for Joshua than what Takam was, and of course, Joseph Parker. But ultimately, we need to see this fight to find out, okay? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Mike Tyson's wrong, who knows? But ultimately, I feel that I'm right on this one. But we need to get to see the fight. Are we going to get to see the fight? Well, Eddie Hearn, he's going to go over to New York on Wednesday, and he'll start to meet some of Wilder's team, like face to face, and maybe do some nipple twisting or something to get this damn deal done, because Eddie Hearn put in the offer 2 weeks ago, and the 10-day waiting time is already surpassed, but Team Joshua giving him a bit extra because Wilder didn't even respond. If he felt that the $12.5 million flat fee was a low ball, he should have at least responded with that, saying, listen, no, that's no good. We need more money, or we want a percentage, or we want this to have to fight. Now, ultimately, he has been saying it's not about money, it's about legacy. When a champion calls you out, you should always accept. This is Wilder's words. But of course, as we know, any logical people know that he's just been using Joshua's name for profile. He doesn't want him. He's already set to fight Dominic Brazil. We know this. So him lying by saying that he wants Joshua was exactly that. It was just a lie. And people fell for it. And of course, there's like a lot of Wilder fans out there, Wilder fanboys, who will perpetuate all the crap and make excuses for a long time. And now, if you notice, a lot of these guys are making excuses to give Deontay Wilder an alibi. Deontay Wilder should move on. Deontay Wilder should do this. Deontay Wilder should do... They're giving him the alibi because they don't want to admit that their guy just ducked. Undisputed. They ducked. He ducked Anthony Joshua, just like he's been ducking Dillian White, like he's been ducking Alexander Povetkin when he ran away from a fight in Russia where the A sample failed before the B sample was drawn. And even though the test results were he was within the legal limit, so the fight should have still went ahead. But the WBC backed him. He's been helped ever since he became champion and cherry-picked for his entire career, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing. He didn't want to take on Dillian White because that was an old Anthony Joshua opponent. He didn't want to be compared to how he deals with White to what Joshua dealt with White. He didn't want Joshua's leftovers, as he calls it. But yeah, isn't Dillian White ranked #1 by the WBC right now? Isn't Dominic Brazil ranked #2? And this is the guy he's looking to fight, who Anthony Joshua, guess what, beat him in more convincing fashion as well. So ultimately, there is a bit of history between Brazil and Wilder, so I'm not 100% against this fight. I'm not saying I am. It's just that I don't like it when a fighter repeatedly calls out another fighter. They create a lot of hate online between Joshua fans and Wilder fans, when we know that Wilder doesn't want the fight. We've been saying it for a long, long time, that he's not serious about taking the fight, and this is ultimately what's happening. Now, who knows, maybe with Eddie Hearn going to go over there, he's going to back him into a corner, and they're going to just take the deal, do something, anything, because to not even respond is an act of cowardness, and this will never be forgotten. Even if he took the fight next, we know it's about money. It's not about legacy, it's about money, and Wilder's been lying to you all for so long. But anyway, hopefully we get this fight done. Eddie Hearn's going to go over there on Wednesday to put the thumb screws on and get this fight done. So Team Joshua are the ones chasing this fight. They're the ones who's put in the offer. They are the ones who's chasing the fight. You know, they are the ones who opened up the negotiations. But Team Wilder claim via Lou DiBella, who's not even involved in this, by the way. But either way, of course, he knows what's going on, Lou DiBella, but he's not involved in the negotiation process. But he said that's not how you start negotiations, by sending an email. As I said, what do you want to do? Put a note around the pigeon's leg and fly the pigeon off via Mike Tyson? What do you want him to do? You know, pick up a phone and say, yo, we want to make the fight. And then Team Wilder, who, to be fair, maybe Wilder's been wanting these big fights for a long time, but Team Wilder have just been avoiding the big fights because they don't have confidence in him. So if Eddie Hearn was to pick up the phone and say, Jay Diaz, Al Heyman, or Shelley Winkle as he calls him, we're going to put in an offer of $12.5 million flat fee. We want the fight. And they'll go, okay, then we'll have a word with Wilder and we'll come back to you. And guess what? No paper trail. So they can go up to Wilder and say, yeah, but they only want to give you 12.5% and leave out the fact that it was dollars. Or they'll do something to twist it because there's no paper trail. There's no proof of what it is that Eddie Hearn sent. So with email, it's the only way, Lou DiBella. You complete plum. So anyway, we'll have to wait and see if this fight ever gets done. Hopefully it will. It's all about undisputed, right? It's all about Wilder wanting a legacy. It's not about the money. Because I promise my fans, I love my fans, as he quite plainly puts it. What he really means is, I'm lying to you, my fans, and you all are going to be gullible enough to believe me, my fans. But support me anyway, and make excuses for me for when I pull out the fight and not go ahead. Just like he did when he priced himself out by saying 50-50 or no fight, when he was supposed to fight him instead of Joseph Parker. Again, all facts, people. So drop your thoughts below as to your thoughts on Mike Tyson, where he doesn't give Wilder much of a chance because he's a tall opponent, and Anthony Joshua will find him much, much easier than what he done against Carlos Takam, Joseph Parker, etc. So drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.